Hi, my name is Bill Post. I came from a long line of Posts. My great-great-grandfather Jacob Post was born near Madison, New Jersey in 1762. Here's a picture that shows it all in one shot. This was taken in Olathe, Kansas cemetery. My wife Orvaleen is holding my great-great-grandfather's death certificate. Between Orvaleen and me is my great-grandfather's tombstone, and I am holding a painting by Fern Beckham of my grandfather and grandmother and my dad as a little boy. That's nearly 240 years of Posts. My grandfather Harvey T. Post homesteaded the 160-acre farm in 1874, where Orvaleen and I live today. My dad was born in a log cabin on this same farm in 1878. On September 16, 1893, my grandmother's sister, Emma Elliott, rode my dad's pony in the running of the Cherokee Strip and staked a claim of land. Boy, those were exciting times. My mother and dad married in the year 1900 and lived on the Post farm. Here's a picture of Mother and Dad and me when I was 19 years old. During World War II, I was in Special Services attached to the Air Transport Command and served 2 years in India. My time in the service gave me a complete trip around the world. I left Los Angeles with 5,000 servicemen on the ship. We traveled on the Pacific Ocean to Perth, Australia, to Bombay, India, and then I came home from India 2 years later after traveling 22,000 miles in India and entertaining 175,000 servicemen. We left Bombay and passed through the Red Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, past Spain and into the Atlantic Ocean and on to New York City. I had gone completely around the world. After I got home, my dad told people I had been completely around the world in part of Sumner County. After the war, I met a lady from Frankfort, Indiana. Her name was Doree. We married and became a singing and songwriting team. Traveled over the United States and Canada. Doree died of cancer in 1961. 9 years later, I married Orvaleen Pritchett in 1970. You will now hear a musical program that includes several Post songs and video of the musical Homestead.
Where in the world is the sky more blue? Where in the world is the friend more true? Where could there be more rolling plain? Where could you see more golden grain? Where in the world is the land more free? Where could a place be more dear to me? Where are the loved ones I long to see? Where in the world but Kansas?
Where in the world is the sky more blue? Where in the world is a friend more true? Where could there be more rolling plain? Where could you see more golden grain?
Where in the world is the land more free?
Here again is the star of the show, Lisa Foster.
Yeah, right. Well, I have found somebody here real interesting. This lady is a preacher. Hello there. Tell us your name and where you're from.
Orvaleen Post from Uta Springs, Kansas.
Well, we're glad to have you with us. And you got a little preacher story for us?
I got a
Tell
little
us
preacher
quickly. We want to
story.
hear it.
Well, the preacher was out visiting one day, and he stopped by, and he was visiting with this little boy. And he said, "Do you pray at night?" He says, "Oh, yes." "Well, do you pray every morning?" "Nope." "How come?" "I'm not scared then."
Oh, that's good. All right. Well, you stay right with us. We'll be back with the winner of today's show right now.
Tonight, our Main Street Kansas is a musical and spiritual journey to our Kansas City, the town about 45 miles southeast of Wichita, home to the colorful Post family. Here's News Channel 3's Craig Andres at the second annual musical Homestead.
Welcome to the Post Family Get-Together. It's a musical. Poetry.
Dear Lord, send a little dust to blind the eyes of the just.
And spiritual get-together. Bill and his wife Orvaleen put on this show because they want to share their lives. Orvaleen shows off her chapel outside their home. She's a retired Methodist minister of 20 years. Bill likes to share his musical experience because music is in his soul.
We wrote some national hit songs like 16 Reasons and Weekend and A Song for Young Love by the Letterman.
Bill has some stuff to show off his musical genius. At this get-together, you can check out his records and posters, the stuff of songwriters. This party also shows off the Post Homestead with a tour of buildings and larger-than-life animals, all with a spiritual message. But Bill's most recent success is something less spiritual and more earthly in nature. His state song march, called Here's Kansas, is a big hit.
I am going to be in Ripley's, believe it or not, later on this year because over 6,000 high school students played Here's Kansas at KU last September 18th.
Believe it or not, the Posts invite you to come see their musical Homestead anytime. Just call ahead, let them know you're coming.
50 years ago in 1945 in Calcutta, India, when I was in the service, I wrote a song that later became the official state march, Here's Kansas. In 1993, over 6,000 high school band members from Kansas and Missouri marched on the football field at Kansas University and played Here's Kansas. And here is Ripley's cartoon to say, believe it or not. This is a story about an old farmer milking cows before the days of the milking machine. I call it the old milk cow. It was chore time down on the farm, and I started heading for the old milk barn to feed and milk 13 head of cows. This was before the milking machine, when we milked them by hand and stripped them clean, and flies and dirt were all part of the scene. We had one old cow we called Kick the Can. She was always eating too much bran. I mean, her tail was a stinking mess. We had to put kick chains on her too, and she was cantankerous as a mule. And each time I milked her, I said these words: So, bossy cow, don't switch your tail and don't kick over the old milk pail. I only got a couple more squirts to go. So, bossy cow, I know the flies are bad, but don't hump your back and make me mad, or you and I could really put on a show. I was milking away without a care when, like a shot from out of nowhere, she kicked that bucket about 8 feet high. Well, I landed on my upper thigh, and I thought, oh, brother, I'm gonna die, sprawled out staring straight up in the air. The bucket came down right on my head, and my face was white instead of red, and the old cow staring at me with one eye. I jumped up raring to tan her hide and ready to poke her in the side when a small voice said, she's only just a cow. I stepped back trying to simmer down with milk and dirt. I looked like a clown, and for a second I almost had to laugh. I thought, well, thunder, that is that. What milk was left I gave to the cat and got the milk stool out of the manure trough. I wiped the pail out with a gunny sack and rubbed her gently on her back and said, so, bossy, let's try it one more time. So, bossy cow, don't switch your tail and don't kick over the old milk pail. I only got a couple more squirts to go. So, bossy cow, I know the flies are bad, but don't hump your back and make me mad, or you and I could really put on a show. What in the world was all of that? Get off her back, you crazy cat. There goes the kick chains in the air, and all the milk spilled everywhere, and I just landed in a heap. Anybody want to buy an old milk cow real cheap? There she is, right there. Here's a song Doree and I wrote entitled 16 Reasons. It was high on the national charts and popular around the world. Let's watch the video and listen to Connie Stevens sing 16 Reasons.
The way you hold my hand, your laughing eyes, the way you understand your secret sighs, they're all part of 16 reasons why I love you. The way you comb your hair, your freckled nose, the way you say you care, your crazy clothes, that's just half of 16 reasons why I love you. Snuggling in the car, your wish upon a star, whispering on the phone, your kiss when we're alone, the way you thrill my heart, your voice so neat, you say we'll never part, our love's complete. Those are all of 16 reasons why I love you. 16 reasons why I love you.
I have written several novelty songs, but this one seems to be a favorite. Here I am in a video of the Old Gray Mules.
There once lived a man out Kansas way. Of course, this was back in the early day, long before the Model T. He had a pair of old gray mules. They called one Jack and the other Jules, and they were mean as they could be. Why, Jack was wild as an old stray cat, and they'd both run away at the drop of a hat, and the old man knew it well. When planting time would come around, he'd take 'em out to plow the ground. For miles around, you'd hear him yell, "Oh, Jack, gee, Jules, slow down there, you crazy fools. Arr, you no-count rascals, you. Pull back there, Jules, that gun pesky mules. Ah, Jack, you wings, he'd head for the town of Cuda Springs every Friday without fail. He'd tie the team to a hitching post, trade where his dollar'd buy the most, and then he'd go pick up the mail. Well, when he'd climb back on the wagon seat, those mules would start to stomp their feet, and as he would drive away, folks in blacksmith shop and stores would always smile and stand outdoors just to hear that old man say, "Ah, Jack, 3, 2, slow down there, crazy fool, fire, you know how rascals you. Whoa, back there, choose that gun pesky mule, ah, Jack, you old fool." Well, he was plowing corn one 4th of July when the morning train came chugging by, whistling just like Gabriel's horn. Scared those mules half out of their hide, they cut a strip about 10 foot wide right across that field of corn. Well, the engineer laughed like he was busted. They headed for the barn in a cloud of dust, going like a streak of light. They went to the fence, the South Big Pen, knocked all the feathers off a Leghorn hen while the old man yelled with all his might, "Ah, Jack, 3, 2, slow down there, crazy fool, fire, you no count rascal you. Whoa, back there, choose that gun to pesky mules, ah, Jack, you old fool. Open up the barn door, Paul, we're coming through, plow and all. Look out, Paul, that kite turning, that gun mules I'll never learn. Slow down there, crazy fools, you no count rascals you, ah, Jack, you old fool."
This is a song I wrote called Grab My Hand. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's go help some people. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's go help some people. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's go help some people. Let your light so shine that it will be divine. So grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's go help some people. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's go feed the hungry. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's go feed the hungry. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's go feed the hungry. That's what Jesus said. See that my sheep are fed. So grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's go feed the hungry. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's love one another. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's love one another. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's love one another. That means black and white and everyone in sight. So grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's love one another. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's keep peace forever. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's keep peace forever. Grab my hand, come on, let's go. Let's keep peace forever. Circle every land and touch each other.